Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to another bonus episode of Let's Play Sonic Riders. Today we're going to be looking at the different racetracks that we didn't get the race on during the story mode. But there's two other things I want to point out here. I'm not going to show them off, only simply because they're pretty self-explanatory at this point. You have Time Attack here, which pretty much you race a stage by yourself, no other opponents, and you try to get the best time. That's standard in a racing game, so I don't really have to show that off. And then there's World Grand Prix, which you can play up to 2 players with, and you compete in 5 races in order to become the champion. But as you can see, these are the same racetracks that we played on during Eggman's Grand Prix in the story mode. And there's the Hero Cup and the Babylon Cup. There are different rule settings you can set, like the announcer, your level stuff, items, all that kind of stuff. So you can make it more challenging on yourself, and really, that's not something I have to show off, because once again, that's standard to most racing games, so you guys know how World Grand Prix would work. And since we've already done those tracks in the story mode, it's just kind of redundant. So let's go over here to free race, and the first track I want to show off is Digital Dimension. Now, when we fought the Babylon Guardian in the story mode, that was its own separate track. You can play it yourself in free mode here if you want to. Sorry about that little speech hiccup, but yeah, I had a hiccup there. But we don't really need to play this again because we've already done the story mode. But the one that's not shown in story mode is Digital Dimension, and I want to show this one off. And let's go ahead and pick a different type of gear here. Now, there's these two types of gear I really like you can buy in the shop. This is Hang On, which it says it has great value, but if you play with this gear, it changes the theme to the Hang On theme. And if you played this game on the Sega Genesis or the Master System, you know what I mean. Now, why did I say Sega Genesis first? Because there's a version called Super Hang On, which changed it to the Super Hang On theme from the Sega Genesis. So we have both versions of Hang On here. And I do enjoy that, but the one gear I kind of want to show here, this is one of the gears you can buy in the shop. It allows you to have every single attribute. That's pretty cool. At the same time, as you can tell, its stats are pretty terrible, so it's not something ideal, but if you want to have all the attributes, you can go ahead and use that. But what I wanted to show here is, where is it? Magic Carpet. This is what we unlocked after we beat the game. And this is the legendary gear that is in the Babylon Garden. Pretty much this gear allows you to fly, if you're not a flying character. So I wanted to just show it off here. And this is a good place to do it. I don't remember if this keeps your original character's attribute, but if they're not a flying character, then they're turned into a flying character. I do remember that much. But it is a pretty good piece of gear. It's not something I use that much though, but I do like it. It's not that bad. And you can tell from that cutscene how they said this is pretty much the same material we use in our gears, because it functions the exact same way. It just allows you to fly. So that's pretty nifty if you think about it. And looking at Sonic, and wait a minute. Back it up for a second. Did I just say nifty? I can't believe I said that. I'd never say nifty. That's really weird of me to say that. But if you look at Sonic on this, it pretty much looks like he's right from Sonic and the Secret Rings. It looks pretty dang cool when you think about it. Oh, look at that. I grind down the rail, so I was apparently wrong about thinking, oh, you don't keep your original character's attribute. You do. That's good. So, riding a magic carpet, unless you're a flying character, you pretty much have 2 attributes. And that's pretty useful. Obviously, if you use the magic carpet as a flying character, that's kind of redundant, and I can't remember if they allow you to use this gear with a flying character. If you go in, I believe, the extras menu, you have a list of all your gear, and you can go ahead and check it out. And you can see who can use this kind of gear, and it tells you like what slot it is and everything like that. So it's a pretty useful menu. It's just not really something I think I'll have to use since I have everything unlocked. But I just want to point that out there now for those people who kind of wanted to go and look that up. Oh, well, that was a failure. Now there's a rail down there, but I just don't take it because I don't know, I just can't make the jump half the time to get to that railing. It might just be me on that one, but it's just, I find it to be difficult just to, you know, land on that grind rail over there on that low ledge. It's just kind of a pain to get to. But now my commentary is kind of getting redundant, but this is stuff we've done before, so that's kind of why I'm kind of having a hard time thinking of what else to say. But that's why I'm glad that this is the last little thing I have to do for the Let's Play, and we're pretty much done. So I guess while we're doing this, I can kind of reflect on the project and say what things I liked about it, what things I didn't, because that's something I haven't done yet. I kind of went over that real quick on the credit roll, but it wasn't as detailed as, I was going to do originally. So this Let's Play I did really enjoy. It was something really different from what I usually do. Usually I wouldn't really pick a racing game like this. I would just pick a game that's more straightforward and has more of a story to it. This game was actually much different than what I usually pick. And I saw a Let's Play of this game, and I saw how well it worked as a Let's Play, so I figured, you know what? Let me try it and see how well it works for me. And I was really happy with how this Let's Play turned out. I know that the cutscenes are going to be the biggest point in the Let's Play where it's going to be really different from others, because I had those little editing ideas I wanted to put in certain cutscenes because it works. If I can't commentate over the cutscenes, I want to put my own original spin on them in some kind of way, and I was happy with how those cutscenes did turn out. But before I go on with any more of that, once you beat the game, you get the Sega Carnival, and you also get Sega Illusion. Now, I think there's a different way you unlock the Illusion portion of this track, but I can't exactly remember. So I just recommend, if you want to unlock these tracks, go look it up on Google, and you'll find a detailed list of how to unlock them. Because I don't exactly remember off the top of my head, but I'm going to play as Sonic once more because I also want to show off another piece of gear. It's the hardest gear to get in the game. It's called the Chaos Emerald. Now, this Chaos Emerald allows you to play as Super Sonic. As you can imagine, only Sonic can play as this, which is kind of disappointing. I would love to play, with Hyper Shadow. I think that's his official name. So that would have been nice to play as Shadow in his super form, but you can't. So that's kind of disappointing. It's only Sonic, but if you play with this Chaos Emerald, it gives you all three types of powers. You have speed, you have flying, and you have the power abilities. And that's really cool, but the drawback to it is, when you're playing as Super Sonic, you don't run off air, you run off rings. The problem with this is, rings are kind of hard to come by in these stages once you collect them. And what I recommend you do if you're playing as Super Sonic, don't use boost. Just don't. Only simply because it takes up so much of your rings. So if you're using Super Sonic and you're using the boost, you're going to be running most of the time. This gear is overpowered. It can do so much. But at the same time, because it takes up rings, you can kind of see where this is going. It's something that you only use once in a while because it's just not really something that is all that practical. It's really, really cool to have this kind of a thing, but I also wish it just ran off air for when you did boost. I can understand running off of rings because Super Sonic is running off your ring count in every single game. But if you guys could have made it so that you run off air with some of those things you're doing, then that would have made using Super Sonic more enjoyable, in my opinion. But that's just my little rant on the character himself. It's not that bad to use Super Sonic here anyways. He's still really good. But I just find myself using all the other types of gear more than Super Sonic. Okay, so back to my little reflection on this Let's Play. What I was saying earlier was about, how I did enjoy how the cutscenes came out with my little nice editing tricks. Some of them I actually was kind of skeptical on, thinking, oh, will this work? Or will people think that this is kind of stupid? And for the most part, I didn't really see those kind of reactions. I was seeing more positive reactions than negatives. And I was happy about that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this Let's Play as well. It is a racing game, so I know not that many people are going to really find this to be enjoyable to watch because, well, what the heck can you do in a racing game that can be interesting to your commentary? It's kind of hard to keep a good stream of commentary going when all you're doing is going around the same track a couple of times. Which is why I've never Let's Play a NASCAR game, mind you, because if I did that, we'll be on the same track for hundreds of laps, and I don't want to deal with that kind of thing for a Let's Play. My commentary would be pretty much dead in that kind of playthrough. I did try to make the cutscenes as unique as I could, if I couldn't commentate over them. I did want to commentate over the cutscenes because that's the biggest part of this playthrough here. so it's just not really something I wanted to do. And I'm glad I didn't, because if I did, that would have took away from the immersion effect that you can get. So I'm glad to how this playthrough turned out. I really am. And in the first 2 episodes, I had to use my old editing software to go ahead and edit up the videos, but after those 2 videos were done, I use a different editing software, and I'm glad to how these videos turned out in quality because of that. Swapping editing softwares really did help, because I noticed a good increase in the quality of the videos in some cases, and I'm really happy with how this just looked in general. A lot of the Let's Plays I'll see of this game are recorded with like composite instead of components, so there's a little more detail in areas, but well, that's kind of why I got the PVR in the first place. So that's a good thing, but let's see here. Who do I want to be for the final track? Someone I haven't played as yet. Huh. You know what? Let's go ahead and actually play as a different character from one different Sega games, and I'm going to go ahead and pick Knights. And, you know, I'm going to keep the default gear, why not? I was thinking of using something different, but let's just keep default. And I'm going to hopefully finish this up soon, because my laptop is almost dead. And I'm using that to record my audio. So I don't want that to die while I'm recording, otherwise this commentary is pretty much gone. I have to redo this. I don't want to redo this, because I'm finding the commentary to be pretty good. Kind of rough in the beginning, but not anymore. That's a good thing. It's a good thing I picked the flying character the right way, because look at that. Already a shortcut with a flying attribute. That's useful. I do like, though, how they do include these 2 Sega-based tracks, and how it's themed off some different Sega games and whatnot. That's really cool. And the other thing I did like about this game is how they did put in other characters from other Sega games, and had more references to other Sega games. That's one thing I really did like about Riders here. After the first game, they didn't do it as much. I don't remember them doing this as much, if not at all, in Zero Gravity. And then I haven't played Sonic Free Riders, but I don't think I have to after hearing all the bad stuff about that game. And I've seen people play it, and it's just, the controls are terrible. They're just terrible, because what you need to do is you need to use your body to control the game, but this kind of a game doesn't work with motion. It doesn't work with using your body to control this. It's more meant for a controller, a joystick, a D-pad, buttons. It's more meant for that. It's not meant for you to waggle your arms around and jump around in order to control your character. So you just see the characters in these most stiff animations and these most awkward ways of moving around and whatnot, but that's because that's how they have to play the game in order for it to recognize them. I need to actually play the game myself. I've only seen videos of it. I've seen videos of people playing it, but I need to actually get hands-on experience to fully say. But I can tell you now, I'm probably not going to like it. And I think another question people would have for me now, after I did this, is would I actually go and Let's Play Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. I do have the game here on Wii, but I don't know if I would actually Let's Play it. And the reason why I say that is, I've only played it once, I haven't come back to it ever since. And that was like almost 3 years ago at this rate. It's been so long. So I don't think I would actually go and play that one. If I did, it would be down the road. It'd be quite a while since I would need to have more practice with it. But, you never know. I might come back to it in the future, but I wouldn't expect it anytime soon. But, yeah, I don't find Zero Riders to be a bad game. It's just I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. And in fact, with the Wii version, I didn't go on my way to 100% it. I do have 100% save on there, but that's because I downloaded that save file off of a website called Wii Save, which is a really good website for Wii save files, by the way. That's where I got a lot of my 100% save for games when I first get them. Because I would do that, and then I would play that save real quick and see, okay, is it worth actually going on my way and getting 100% here, or is it not worth it and I should just play the game? That's how I knew. And I really enjoy the website because of that. They have so many different save files for so many different games, and it's so easy to put those on the Wii, since all you need to do is at least play the game, and in most of the games you can go ahead and copy a file off your SD card. So that's pretty helpful. So, before I wrap it up, because I'm just rambling now on other things, I guess while I still kind of talk, I'll just go and show off the extra menu really quick, just skim through it, so I can say one final thought about this Let's Play. And that is how well the commentary kind of worked for a racing game. I think it worked for the most part, but the thing is, it's a racing game, so because of that, sometimes your commentary is going to be kind of dry. I can understand that. But, I was actually surprised at how well I was able to come up with new things to say in this playthrough. It was really something I wasn't expecting. And there's really one other type of racing game I would think of making a Let's Play of in the future, and that would be a Mario Kart game, but if I do that, I think I'm going to have someone else along with me for the ride, because doing that by myself wouldn't be as enjoyable. So I would just want to go ahead and play with someone else here. That would be a lot more fun. And that's something I've actually been planning on doing ever since the beginning, so you never know, maybe in the future, but I think that's enough rambling. I got most of the stuff I wanted to say. I showed off every single other thing that I wanted to show in the game, so there's nothing else left to do here. I hope you guys did enjoy this Let's Play. I know I did. And it was a different experience. First time I tried a racing game, and it worked out pretty well. So, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and with that all said and done, I'll see you guys next time.